air. Stand by, all cameras.
Ready with slow motion and isolated cameras.
Stand by, videotape, and roll tape.
And tape is rolling in less than 5, in 3, 2, 1.
Take tape.
From Municipal Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio, two powers in professional football meet for the first time ever as members of the new American Football Conference of the National Football League. The New York Jets, led by the passing wizardry of Joe Namath, and the Cleveland Browns, led by the power running of Leroy Kelly. This ABC Sports Exclusive is brought to you by Marlboro Filter Cigarettes. Come to where the flavor is. Come to Marlboro Country. By Ford and your Ford dealer, who invite you to come in and test drive the 1971 Fords, the cars with the better ideas. And by Goodyear, the only makers of long-wearing polyglass tires.
It is a hot, sultry, almost windless night here at Municipal Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio, where the Browns will play host to the New York Jets. And here at midfield on the gridiron itself, as we await the opening kickoff, we will see two teams, two of the outstanding teams in professional football. Each accorded a chance to reach the Super Bowl, each an Eastern Division champion in its respective league a year ago. Good evening, everyone. I'm Howard. Welcome to ABC's Monday night primetime National Football League television series. As you already know, each team has a superstar. The extraordinary running back, number 44, Leroy Kelly of the Browns. The premier quarterback, number 12, Joe Willie Namath of the Jets. And with us right now at midfield are, first to my right, middle linebacker, defensive captain of the New York Jets, number 62, Al Atkinson. And to my left, and both men are understandably tight and nervous at this moment, the quarterback already alluded to, number 12, Broadway Joe Namath. Quickly, first to you, Al. You said you wanted to tell the people something.
Well, the only thing I want to tell the people is that I'm glad that Joe Willie's back with us. And our only purpose right now is to go ahead and win all the games and be in that Super Bowl and win it in January.
Good luck to you, Al, and thank you for stopping by. Now let's move over to Joe Willie Namath. And Joe, you've only had 6 quarters of preseason action this year. I suppose you're far from happy with your timing.
Well, the timing has come along pretty good, Howard, over the last couple of weeks. Naturally, it wasn't there last week and the week before, but I think right now at this stage we're ready.
Of course, Weeb Eubank has characterized this Jets team, Joe, as superior even to the Super Bowl champions of January 12, 1969. Do you agree?
No, I don't, but I hope Weeb's right. At this stage, it's too difficult to tell. I'm not trying to argue with Weeb. Like I said, I hope he's right, but the 68 team proved itself, and the 70 team has to prove itself, probably.
Final question, Joe, from the films you've studied, your evaluation of the Browns as an opponent.
Well, naturally, they've been one of the most consistent teams in the NFL over the years. They're a very difficult football team to run on at times, but we kind of think we can beat them tonight. They run a lot of zone coverage. They don't like to give up the big play, the long touchdown pass, and we'll see what we can do about it, you know?
You'll test them anyway with Maynard a few times, I'm sure.
Maynard or Castor or Sauer or Bell. We'll try it.
Good luck to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Howard.
Joe Willie Namath. And now I'd like you to meet the man who'll be doing the play-by-play in our Monday night series. Crisp, knowledgeable, authoritative, a veteran at his trade, Keith Jackson. And Keith, I take it you'll be pointing up some of the rookies who'll be performing here tonight.
Well, Howard, we sure have a lot of them in professional football this year. You know, when the final rosters were submitted on this first weekend of action for the National Football League, there were 181 rookies, 97 of them in the American Football Conference. And we're going to see 3 rookies start here tonight. The Cleveland Browns will start at defensive tackle, a rookie from Oklahoma State, Jerry Shirk. The New York Jets are going to start 3 rookies, if you can believe that, 3 of them. Defensive end Mark Lomas of Northern Arizona, and the 2 cornerbacks will both be rookies, Early Thomas of Colorado State and Steve Tannen of Florida. So we should have a lot of fun tonight watching these kids get their first taste of real professional football action.
Thank you, Keith. And, of course, there is another member of our broadcast team. He is, you understand, our Monday evening quarterback. Once he was a Sunday afternoon quarterback in professional football. He proved his courage every single Sunday, indomitable in his purpose, the determination grim, wearing the uniform of the Dallas Cowboys, number 17. We want you to see him, Don Meredith, as he used to be.
Time for the reset! The left back! We're going to do that.
Dandy Don Meredith, how does it feel to review the glories of yesteryear?
How do you know y'all were going to do that? Nobody told me that. I was all set to tell you about these 2 quarterbacks that were going to... I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to tell you about Bill Nelson with the Browns and Joe Namath with the New York Jets. In my opinion, they're both leaders, but they do lead in a different way. Bill Nelson is a consistent leader of the Cleveland Browns, who have been known in the past 2 decades as probably the most consistent football team in football. He utilizes a fine running game with more than an adequate core of receivers. On Joe Namath's side, you've got a fella who can do things which his team feels no one but Joe Willie can do. And you know what? It might be interesting to think, I don't think Nelson could do quite as good a job with the Jets as he is with the Browns, nor do I think Namath could do quite as good a job with the Browns as he can with the Jets. So aren't we lucky? The Browns have got Nelson and the Jets have got Namath. Let's watch them.
I will do exactly that, Dandy Don. And, of course, pregame activities are over here in Municipal Stadium in Cleveland. We'll be back with the opening kickoff right after this message.
Francisco. The New York Jets, Joe Namath and Al Atkinson standing there, wearing the green tonight on the road at Municipal Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. The home team, the Cleveland Browns, will be wearing white. We're going to play this football game tonight to open the season for both these 2 fine teams on real grass. The co-captains, Leroy Kelly of the Cleveland Browns and Jim Houston, middle linebacker, go to the center of the field with the referee Norm Schechter, Joe Namath, and Al Atkinson, the offensive and defensive captains, coming to the center of the field for the Jets. The indication of which team had won the toss a half an hour ago. And the New York Jets will be receiving, the Cleveland Browns will be kicking off. And these 2 teams, as Howard Cosell noted for you at the outset, each of them considered prime material for the Super Bowl, each of them having fine football teams. The Jets in the Eastern Division of the American Football Conference, the Cleveland Browns in the Central Division of the American Football Conference. So it's halftime here at Municipal Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio, with our scoreboard reading. The Cleveland Browns 14 and the New York Jets 7.
It's halftime at Municipal Stadium in Cleveland, with the Cleveland Browns leading the New York Jets by a score of 14-7. And I think you'll agree that it was a good first half. At first, it appeared the game might be a rout. The first 2 times, Cleveland had the ball in the first quarter. Bill Nelson brilliantly engineered 2 touchdown drives. At first, the Jets couldn't stifle the Browns' ground game, and Nelson quickly mixed it up with passing, and then the Jets came back, so it's 14-7 with a good half ahead of us still. Now we're going to take you into our regular halftime pattern during these Monday night telecasts. Highlights of NFL games provided by NFL Films, highlights of games played the previous weekend. And we want to begin tonight by showing you the Los Angeles Rams against the St. Louis Cardinals and the Chicago Bears against the New York Giants. So let's pick up with the first game in Los Angeles. The powerhouse Los Angeles Rams at the Los Angeles Coliseum about to take on the Big Red, the St. Louis Cardinals. With the ball, Jim Hart, number 17, the quarterback, trying to mount a passing attack in the early going, being chased down by the irrepressible Deacon Jones, number 75. Now Hart goes to his wide receiver, Davey Williams, who's hit by Maxie Vaughn. It looks good, but the Cards got nowhere in the first half, scoring only 3 points to the Rams 17. Second half kickoff, Jim Bakken for the Cardinals, all the way down to the Rams 2, taken by Alvin Heyman, number 23. And that's all the hole he had to find. Watch him go as he uses his brilliant speed and timing to cut back and go all the way. 98 yards, widely known as one of the best kick returners in football. Heyman's done this so many times. National Football League fans have almost come to expect it. The conversion was good. It's 24-3. Now Hart tries to come back, and he hits Johnny Gilliam, number 44. Gilliam moves on upfield for a 28-yard gain, and you saw the push from Gilliam against number 17, and a little bit of temper out there. Cardinals did pick up a field goal, and still they're trying to come back. Hart looks left, and now he will throw long and right. Number 81, Jackie Smith, the practically perfect tight end who roars in for the score on 59-yard pass play. But it didn't help the Cardinals. In truth, they were never in the game. Just a minute and 40 seconds to go now. Roman Gabriel spots Jack Snow, number 84, the former Notre Dame great. This is the final touchdown of the game. The extra point good. The Rams 34, the Cardinals 13. Now it's Saturday night at Yankee Stadium. The Giants against the Chicago Bears. The captains shake hands. The Giants get an early lead on a Gogolak field goal, 3-0. Now Gogolak kicks off following the field goal. And this is Cecil Turner of the Bears. That's all the space he's going to need. Watch him go down the sidelines, virtually unchallenged. This is the score that will put the Bears ahead. They make the extra point, and it's their ball game at this moment, 7-3. But quickly, the Giants come back. Number 10, Fran Tarkenton, spotting wide receiver Rich Houston, number 84 at the sidelines. He goes on upfield before he's knocked out of bounds. This is a gain of 35 yards. Now Tarkenton's ready to move in for a score. The fake to a back who goes into the line. The pitch out to Ron Johnson. Acquired in the offseason from the Cleveland Browns. Johnson, number 30, scores. The Giants move ahead with the extra point to a 10-7 lead. They dominated the first half. The Bears control the game in the second half. This is the virtual end. Concannon throwing to Dick Gordon, who beats number 20, Scott Eaton. And then again, with the extra point, the Chicago Bears have beaten the New York Football Giants 24-16. All right, we'll have more National Football League highlights right after this message as the Browns lead the Jets at Municipal Stadium 14-7 at halftime. All right, we're back in the television booth at Cleveland's Municipal Stadium. The score at halftime, as you can see. We're back live in Municipal Stadium. The score at halftime, the Cleveland Browns against the New York Jets. Now we want to go back to our highlights provided by NFL Films, beginning with the Dolphins against the Patriots. Harvard Stadium, Cambridge, Massachusetts, the Miami Dolphins, muchly improved, they say, against the Boston Patriots in slow motion. Bob Greasy, number 12, quarterback of the Dolphins, hitting Paul Warfield, number 42, one of the truly great wide receivers in pro football, for a 19-yard gain.
Miami dominated during the first half with plays like this one. Jim kick, an underpublicized back from Wyoming, moving in 5 yards in the score, which made the score at that time 14-3 in favor of Miami. But Boston, a major underdog, kept coming back with plays like this one. Carl Garrett, the American Football League Rookie of the Year a year ago, spinning, breaking tackles, a run of 26 yards on the draw. 9:08 gone in the fourth period. The score now 20-14 in favor of Boston. Mike Tolliver finding Ron Sellers, number 34, the fine second-year receiver from Florida State. And the upset is executed. Boston 27, Miami 14. Bill Bengtson, coach of the Green Bay Packers, the year that the Pack is supposed to be back. Green Bay against Detroit. Perry Williams with the ball. He's not going anywhere today, not against that Detroit front four. At halftime, it was Detroit 13, Green Bay nothing. Third period, Bart Starr throwing. Lem Barney, premier cornerback in the National Football League, picking it off, 40 yards for the touchdown. At this point, it's Detroit 23, Green Bay nothing. Joe Schmidt, understandably, is applauding his Lions. Now watch this. Number 42, Altie Taylor. Remember him from Utah State? Nagging injuries have hampered him thus far in his Detroit career, but he says this will be his year, and many say it will be the year of the Lions. He made 34 yards on that play. Nell Farr, number 24, coming off knee surgery, showing no effects of it. Sprinting in for a touchdown. 30-0 now. Greg Landry, number 11, giant-sized quarterback from Massachusetts, the quarterback keeper. He will run out of speed. So for that matter, will his defender, Al Matthews. I don't know how much Greg wanted more than that. We're 12:36 into the final period. Triplett has the ball. Detroit is punching wide open holes in the Green Bay line. And the final score is, incredibly, Detroit 40, the Green Bay Packers nothing. Riverfront Stadium, Cincinnati, the home of the still new Cincinnati Bengals and Paul Brown. Mike Eischeid of the Oakland Raiders, heavily favored. Kicking the punt is partially blocked. Kenny Graham picks it off like shortstop Don Kessinger of the Cubs. He moves downfield, fumbles. The ball goes out of bounds on the Oakland 7. It sets up the first Cincinnati touchdown. Now watch LaMonica. The fake handoff, the pass. Number 87, tight end. Brilliant rookie from Morgan State. Powerful and swift. Unable to be dragged down. Finally pushed out of bounds. What a player he's going to be. One of 97 rookies in the American Conference. We're 8 minutes, 37 seconds into the third period. LaMonica, with his team trailing 21-7, hits Biletnikoff. It's 21-14. Now, Cincinnati forced to kick again. This young man's name is Alvin Wyatt. He comes from Bethune-Cookman in Florida. Another of those 97 rookies. Watch this young man go. He was Oakland's 6th-round draft choice. They're not going to catch him on this, not until it's too late. 72 yards. And the score is tied with the successful point after, 21-21. With 12 minutes and 26 seconds into the third quarter, it was third down, 28 yards to go. Cincinnati on its own 24. Paul Brown sent in the draw play. And Jesse Phillips, a defensive back at Michigan State, goes 76 yards for the touchdown. Cincinnati upsets Oakland 31-21. Some of the NFL highlights over the recent weekend is provided by NFL Films. We're back live here at Municipal Stadium. Score, Cleveland 14, Jets 7 at halftime. Quick recap in the first period. Nelson led the Browns 55 yards in 9 plays, 7-0 Cleveland. Then he led them 84 yards in 11 plays, 14-0. The Jets came back with 1 in the second quarter. And now with the second half ready to begin, let's go back to Keith Jackson.
Thank you very much, Howard. Plenty of excitement there. NFL Monday Night Football, the New York Jets versus the Cleveland Browns, is being brought to you by United Airlines, the airline of sport champions, the airline the pros fly, the friendly skies of United, and by Marlboro Filter Cigarettes. Come to where the flavor is. Come to Marlboro Country. Tonight's attendance here at Municipal Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio, 85,703. That is the largest crowd in the Cleveland Browns history. And a quick look at the halftime statistics. First downs for the New York Jets, 13. 12 for the Cleveland Browns. Offensive plays just about dead even, 33 for the Jets and 32 for the Browns. Rushing yardage, Jets had 83, the Browns only 23. In passing, Joe Namath 129 yards. Bill Nelson, 101 yards, and the total yardage, the Jets have a substantial lead in that department, 212 total yards to 124 for the Browns. And so with 35 seconds to go in the game, the Browns rebuild their lead to 10 points over the New York Jets. I tell you, while we're waiting for the kickoff, our executive producer, Rune Arledge. Tonight's telecast produced and directed by Chet Forty. Our co-producers Jim Feeney and Dennis Lewin. Co-director Lou Volpicelli. Associate Director Lou Frederick. Our technical directors Bill Morris and Ralph Drucker. The engineering supervisor Roy Robbins. The unit manager Lester Lasuk. And the assistant to the producers Bill Yerrick. And certainly I'd like to give some notice to our fine statistician Arthur Friedman and our spotter Dave Sterrett. And our appreciation to Art Modell and all of his people here. Cleveland Browns for their hospitality during our stay in Cleveland. And remember, next Monday night, it'll be Kansas City in Baltimore. Lenny Dawson and Johnny Unitas squaring off. Here's the kick. It goes to Mike Battle in the end zone. He drops it. He will not return it.
Billy Andrews was in the lobby of the hotel where we're staying today. The Browns have been staying there, along with Dale Lindsay, a regular linebacker. And Dale and I were kidding Billy about the possibility that he'd see no action. He sure did see action, and at a most critical moment, in a most telling way.
He'll probably walk all the way to the hotel just to remind you.
It's not that far, Keith.
It is New York's ball. First down and 10 at their own 20. With 35 seconds to play in the game. Cleveland leads 31-21. Al Woodall in at quarterback. He is trapped, and he is dropped, and it's Jerry Shirk, number 72, the big rookie from Oklahoma State, who has gone all the way on defense tonight. He may have learned quite a bit.
When you look back at a punt that hit right, very close to going out of bounds and then takes a Cleveland bounce another 20 or 30 yards, you wonder what would happen if it had been the other way.
There's that big rookie from Oklahoma State. Number 80 in the defensive lineup now for Cleveland is Joe Jones, and he's going to play a lot of football for Black McCarthy and the Browns. Al Woodall from the 15-yard to the 17-yard line, and it is almost intercepted by Walt Sumner. So the Browns ball hawking with 4 seconds to play in the game.
I imagine the people in Baltimore are very happy. Don Klosterman, the general manager, and the coach, and Carol Rosenblum.
Third down. And 17. from the 13 as Woodall goes to throw, and he throws. The pass is caught. But it matters little as Wayne Stewart fell to the ground and the gun cracked to end the game. And the final score, the Cleveland Browns 31, the New York Jets 21. We'll be back in a moment here at Municipal Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio.